Reverend Fathers, President Donovan, Principal Malone, faculty, parents, alumni, and fellow graduates. Welcome to the beginning of the end of our time here at Loyola. Because boys, after the caps leave our hand, our time at Loyola will really be done. We are ready for a fresh start, with a mind filled with memories and lessons from our time on 7272 Sherbrooke Street West. I am honored and privileged to stand here today as your representative at the class of 2018's convocation. In the summer of 2011, I learned that my family and I would be moving from sunny Las Vegas to Montreal. Now, why leave Las Vegas, you may ask? It's not like the weather was great there. It's not like they had world-class restaurants, shows, and, shall I say, respectable nightlife. And there was no way they'd be getting an NHL franchise anytime soon and complete their first season by making it all the way to the Stanley Cup final. That just seemed ridiculous at the time. But the one thing I know for sure that Las Vegas did not have was Loyola High School. And I wanted to feel that love. What do I mean by that love? Well, my grandfather, Edgar McDougall, class of 1956, loves Loyola. My uncle, James McDougall, class of 1988, loves Loyola. My brother, Dylan Delaney, class of 2016, loves Loyola. My name is Gavin Delaney, class of 2018, and now I can say with certainty that I love Loyola. Loyola is more than just a school. It is a community, a brotherhood, a family. Allow me to reminisce about how things were in the August of 2013. The world was obsessed with videos of the Harlem Shake on Vine. Kanye West and Kim Kardashian just got engaged. They just got engaged, that's what happened. It wasn't a very eventful year. The men that sit before you were boys and had bigger things to worry about. Our first day of Loyola High School, the Secondary 1 orientation. As we walked in on that fateful day, we knew that we weren't just going to be walking into our new school. We were walking into our new home. And after 5 years at Loyola, that still stands as the longest day of my high school experience. It was a day filled with anxiety, confusion, and learning, but also with the beginnings of friendships and fun. Unfortunately, all wrapped up by a 2-hour assembly by Mr. Fulvio. So, Loyola has truly been great, and it has been our home for these past 5 years. It will also be our home forever, because we will always be Loyola Warriors. The transition from elementary school to high school is not easy. It's not like you can just turn on your television, watch Degrassi for 5 hours, and think, all ready for high school. Cubbies turned into lockers. Lost and Found turned into Mr. Corsetti. Recess turned into iPad gaming. Lunch turned into iPad gaming. After-school activities turned into iPad gaming. Tests became more complex and challenging, and school days got longer. And the fear of getting a jug was ever present. However, this transition was well supported. This was because of the parents who weren't always willing to cut the cord, passionate teachers, and students who developed a diligent work ethic and never hesitated to help their brothers alongside them. What makes Loyola so remarkable are the faculty and staff who are open to growth, loving, religious, committed to doing justice, and intellectually competent. Not just by instructing the curriculum, but by living extraordinary lives and leading by example. The versatility of the faculty produces knowledge-seeking students ready for the real world. One period, you could have a Canadian military veteran with the patience to teach Secondary 1 science. The next, you could have a chemistry teacher capable of also giving lessons on rugby and birdwatching. Thank you to the teachers and coaches who helped us balance the two A's, academics and athletics. I would also like to acknowledge the rich and diverse French element of Loyola. Merci aux professeurs dévoués. Votre soutien et appui sont appréciés. My grandma helped me write that. Now, before you start laughing, I am from Vegas, so my French had a long way to go. So thank you to those teachers who took the time to help me. Thank you to Mr. Ketterling for, well, being MJK, all caps. We cannot forget about the retiring faculty members. Thank you, Mr. Burke. I will always remember Secondary 3 history and she who shall not be named. Thank you, Mr. Pasquini, for never once forgetting to compare our concert band to The football team. Sorry, I had to. And thank you, Mr. Bonarchuk, for always giving us all the news we need to know to make our day complete. Finally, we appreciate the effort of Mr. Malone, who worked hard to understand the Loyola traditions and the way we go about our business. This is just a small sampling of the amazing educators at Loyola. We are here because you never gave up on us. And you didn't just prepare us for the tests and exams, but for the successes of today and the challenges of tomorrow. I would also like to pay tribute to my classmates. I think we can all say that we have inspired each other quite a bit over the past 5 years. Surprisingly, we taught each other quite a bit more than just what we had forgotten to study 2 minutes before a test. From some, we learned patience. After 5 years of people butchering their names, our classmates still take the time to sound it out for them. From our scholarly classmates, we learned that knowledge has no limitations. From our athletic classmates, we learned the virtues of strength, endurance, and determination, and how good it feels to constantly be winning city championships. From our dramatic and musical classmates, we learned the art of expression and that there is no such thing as too loud on the drums. From Alat to Wilkinson, we have inspired each other over these past 5 years, as each and every one of us has unique God-given abilities and talents. High school is a challenge, and the bonds made throughout these 5 years are unbreakable. If I were to share every memory I have with the class of 2018, we would most likely still be sitting here when next year's convocation comes around. Memories like getting to know our brothers at Kairos, LT4. Memories like the student council meetings and every amazing, grateful Instagram post on that account. Memories like concert band practices and concerts, and of course, shouting DJ Squeens at the end. Every football game, wrestling match, and rugby chai, united in dubs and Ls. Memories like last-minute studying in very well-known locations around the school, such as the Sec 5's only balcony, 211, campus ministry office. Now that I think of it, the library would have been a very good location as well if we weren't always getting kicked out. I, along with all of you, will cherish every bus ride to and from games, a certain student's rendition of Ignition by R. Kelly, and another student's safety dance will never be forgotten. Every single train ride spent with the West Island boys listening to Tommy's classics, and even the times avoiding the train guards at the beginning of each month. I'm sure the boys from the continent of Laval also had that problem. It is these small, seemingly inconsequential recollections that make me proud to be a Loyola boy. Before I conclude, I ask you all to do 2 things. Think of the best 5 years of your life. Now, how can you summarize those 5 years in a 10-minute speech? I'm so thankful for being given this opportunity to be the valedictorian of the class of 2018, which allowed me to reflect on those years and appreciate the journey. It made me realize how much I've learned in and out of the classroom, like how uncomfortable a dress shirt can be after gym class, how short 5 minutes between classes really is, how intense ultimate frisbee is here for some reason, and how much some Loyola students love their darts and table tennis. It made me remember that one golden rule. If the teacher does not show up in 15 minutes, the students are free to go. Most of all, it made me so thankful for this entire experience. From August 27th, 2013, until June 6th, or June 11th for the Amrishi guys, 2018. It is clear that we have changed, how much we have grown, matured, transformed, from the first time we awkwardly put on our blazers that were way too big for us, until we triumphantly left our final exam room and felt the first flush of freedom. After we cross this stage today and throw our caps in the air, we will all go our separate ways. It may be some time before we meet again, but one promise I guarantee is that none of us sitting here today will forget our time at Loyola, as warriors, as friends, and as brothers. Every joke, every lesson, every experience will remain with us and continue to contribute to who we become in the future. I am truly sad to be leaving this building, but extremely excited for what is to come. Loyola has provided us with the tools we need to succeed in the world today. All we have to do is move forward as graduates and approach the world as men for and with others. Thank you, and as Mr. Malone always says, go with God.